Hi guys, today I wanted to talk about the new Superman movie, and honestly, I really like it a lot. Like, the movie itself is actually not as DC fans make it seem, like, specifically some of the Snyder fans make it seem. It's not just pointless characters. It's not that the movie doesn't have enough action or it doesn't feel as Superman, it has too much colors in it. I honestly feel like the movie is well balanced and absolutely everything that it brings, because it's not too serious of a movie. It's also not too funny of a movie. It knows when to balance, the serious moments and the funny moments out, which I actually like. It's not gonna turn into what majority of the MCU movies have been turning into the last few movies. Well, movies and TV shows. I'm talking about you, alright? And yeah, it's not actually turning into just a comedy movie with slight hints of action. It was actually a action movie with funny scenes, which is actually it. I personally think that it was actually a really good portrayal of who Superman is. Because it's not just putting him in the pedestal of saying, "Oh, Superman, a god." Is actually giving him more human resemblances, man, that actually means something in the movie. Something that actually goes from, him not looking himself as a god, but actually looking himself as just another human that has the power to save other people, which is really good. And at least some of the plot twists that happen in the movie, I'm not gonna really go into spoilers, by the way. So I'm just giving you the minimal breakdown in a sense. I really think it's not how other people make it seem. Like, he actually does a really good portrayal of Superman. The person that played Superman actually did a really great job during the whole movie. It shows the connection he has between humans and why he's so frustrated. And it also makes him have human emotions. It doesn't just give him the serious look on his face every now and then, a few smirks here and there, or like what they did in freaking Batman vs. Superman, the absolute trash that they did with Superman, just make him want to hate Batman just because he can. Like, it's not. It's something dumb. That was a dumb thing that I feel like it had no purpose behind it. It was just a dumb thought of, hey, what if Batman and Superman hated each other for this one movie, when they didn't even spend an actual full movie wanting to even work with each other, or even giving them enough reasons and actual, meaningful reasons on why they hate each other. Instead, they're just trying to decided, oh, let's fight. And while they're fighting, oh my god, a big monster is released, and Diane pulls up out of nowhere and somehow break the fight between the two, and now, oh my god, best friends. Instead of actually giving them the character development into actually getting him feel that hatred and emotion against Batman, same thing with Batman hating Superman, for them to actually hate each other. I will definitely understand why Batman feels skeptical about it. Because again, it's Batman. He wants to let his continuous and plan this in Canvas card potential regret, which is absolutely necessary and also understandable. But the reason why Superman wants to kill Batman and take the kryptonite, it's just like bonus. Like, yeah, he has kryptonite. He has used it on you? No. He only used it for that one very dumb moment, and that's it. And even after you could have killed him, rip his armor off, but yet you still decided to not do it. Like, that it's dumb things of it. But anyway, I really feel like the movie itself not just did a really good portrayal of the hope that Superman brings into the people, but also showing him to be more human-like than any other Superman that we have seen, even the very old movies. I feel like the only ones that really get a little bit closer to that, it's the TV shows, specifically DC animated. But even so, it's still a really good way of putting the character in the line of oh, I'm not just a super strong god. Here, everybody get kryptonite and start poking shit at me because now I can, now I'm fucking weak as fuck. No. Instead, they actually made it by, hey, there's barely any kryptonite that was coincidentally in the same planet that got destroyed. Now we can't just casually get, we just got a few shards here and there of some meteorites. But even so, it's still not like, fully well-built pieces enough to actually hurt him. So he made a literal being, Lex Luthor made a literal being that could transform into it, actually transform himself into kryptonite, or at least part of himself into kryptonite, just to make Superman weak. I like how some of the scenes were put specifically from Lex Luthor, that they actually just show that he just hates for hate. Like, that's actually, I'm not saying that hate is good, but I'm saying that the way that he hated on Superman was actually very well acted. It wasn't just oh, I hate you because I just felt like it because the plot says so. It's not that. Because we all understand that Lex Luthor practically just hates Superman just because he wants to. But it's not on the same level as Reverse Flash, where that's a whole different level of hate. But at least Lex Luthor has its own reason. For example, feeling like Superman was just basically a mock to the entirety of humanity because he has powers and he doesn't. Because he feels envy that Superman can't do things that he can't. So he wants to get rid of Superman just because he feels so much envy, hatred towards him, that he decides, okay, I'm gonna just take you out of the picture. Instead of just working with you, I'm gonna take you out of the picture and claim all the fame for myself anyway. Which, that, and it, even though it's fucked up for a person to actually go ahead and do that to anybody, it's still well played in his role. Not just that. At first, I thought that some of the CGI scenes on the trailer were kinda iffy. Like, it weren't really that well, and I said, okay, maybe it was gonna be a little bit more of a goofy mean movie. No, it actually turned out to be a really fucking good CGI. Like, obviously not in the same level as Transformers, which they actually looked well back in the day. Some people said that they looked bad. I personally think that it was actually the same good CGI. Like, it actually looked like there was a fucking gun machine right there. And some of the scenes, I will say that they were kind of iffy about it, but it still looked decent to read. At least back when I was a kid, it felt like actually real. And with this one, yeah, some shots are a little bit questionable. Some scenes are still also a little bit questionable for me, even after watching the movie. But personally, I think people should actually give it a chance. Go ahead and watch it. James Gunn has actually done a really, really good job portraying who Superman is and why Superman is the way that he is, or why he's supposed to be the symbol of hope. Which, personally, I gotta give it to them in such a way that DC might actually, specifically right now, have a lead against Marvel. I'm not saying, well, not a lead, but it does have, they're gonna actually compete against Marvel now. Because I think, personally, this movie is one of the best Disney movies that has ever come out. It's definitely better than Aquaman, and definitely better than Justice League, and especially better than Batman vs Superman. Pointless ass movie. I'm sorry, DC fans. It might have been a good movie for you guys, but I honestly think that apart from a few good scenes of the fight here and there, it has no other purpose than just wanting to basically juice more of Superman and more of Batman, which, again, it's not like DC practically has milked Superman and Batman for over fucking, 20 years? That's practically what they have done. Like, just milk Superman and Batman for as long as I can remember. It's kind of pointless at this point. But at least this one, Superman, I recommend it for everybody to watch it. I went, and Dio was practically giggling every single time that we saw a funny scene. Everybody was laughing. everybody was having a really good moment. I saw nobody actually hating on the movie, or at least I never heard anybody actually talking shit about the movie, or basically just saying anything. They were actually just hyping up some of the scenes. The majority of the scenes were actually them hyping the movie, which actually felt kind of nice. It was actually like, oh my god, wait, they actually loved the fucking movie. But it's not just a, my bad. It's not just a dumb trash that they came up with and that's it. They actually went ahead and put details into the movie of things that Superman does, or things that are actually kind of funny that you would think like, oh my god, that's just pointless. But it's also funny, but why would you put it? Yeah, they actually went out of the way to put those little details there that actually make you want to watch the movie more. For example, even though a lot of people say that, the Green Lantern, I will say, the character himself, that at least the choice of who's portraying the character might have not been the best. He just looks way too goofy to be a Green Lantern. But even so, he still did a really good job in what he was doing. It was just basically me, a very out of place, funny, comedic character, which, believe it or not, even though it sounds like it's off from a serious movie, it's actually quite good. Look, it's not bad whatsoever. It's actually a very well acted, funny character that doesn't feel like forced funny. It doesn't feel like it's just a joke to forcefully have a joke in there. It's more like everything leads up to that. Like the conversation between people and everything, it actually leads up to that. And I personally think it's one of the best DC movies that I've ever seen, and one of the movies that I think will probably set up a really, really good universe for DC fans. Personally, I think DC fans should start going more to the theaters and watching these movies more and more. Because honestly, if you don't, you're practically just fucking up the franchise, my guy. Like, it's actually, at least for me, it's good enough of a movie to say that it's a movie that might bring the entire franchise back if it gets enough love. And I think this movie in itself, just by the way that it was portrayed, and me after watching the movie, I'm not the biggest DC fan, by the way, but I personally think this would actually DC go from a very, I guess, not good monetary wise movies to actually now having good movies and putting them back in the mainstream, putting them back into, yeah, like this is DC now. There's gonna be the new side of DC where it's actually good movies with really good storytelling movies, not just a dumb thing that just so happens it correlates to the story, but it also doesn't even make sense on where we put it there. And it's actually really good. But anyway, guys, that was all. I just wanted to give my thoughts about the movie and how I really felt like the movie was. I personally think the movie's actually really good. So give it a try. Go watch the movie in the theaters. I 100% recommend watching the movie. Again, if you like the movie or not, that's on you. Only you can have an opinion. This is the internet. I know a lot of people don't like other people having opinions. But at least I think that if your opinion is you don't like the movie, yeah, it might be a dumb opinion, but it's still an opinion. That's how you felt about the movie. That's fine. That's all cool. So just go ahead, watch the movie, give it a shot, and let me know in the comments. Anyway, have a good one. See ya.